Main's groggy. So it was a clean attack at the ball from McDonald, Tip and Woody. He just caught a bit. I reckon Chris Main doesn't know where he is at the moment. He doesn't want to come off. So let's have a look at that head clash. Who's coming off now? So the short one's on to Kearney. Let's have a look at the replay.
No, wasn't the head.
Yeah. Need to have another look at that. Parrish around the corner. Dawson should defend this, and Danaher says, come on mate, put it out the front. A little frustrated as Hill crossed the ground. So they've got the loose in the middle here. Didn't seem Blakely on that occasion. Neil is still there, and eventually get it. No, he didn't get it delivered the way he wanted. He was there for an eternity, and eventually they mess it up. What do you think, Lingy, with Main as we take a look at this replay?
Yeah, have another look at the replay here. McDonald, Tip and Woody choosing to bump there, and looks as though he gets him in the jaw with maybe the point of the shoulder. So that will certainly be looked at by the MRP. The doctor's now checking out Chris Main on the bench. They'll go through all of the protocols, checking out his jaw to make sure there's no break or crack in that jaw. They'll go through all the concussion protocols now, and how good the doctors are for these AFL clubs. They won't let him back on the ground until they are absolutely satisfied that he's right to go.
And the doctor's report will have a big bearing on what happens there, and the fact that they are checking the jaw. Here's Barlow, goes wide looking for Pav, got the hands working tonight. Wilt did well to defend. Throw it in. So Main looks up and ready to go, so I don't think that concussion is a factor. I think it's just the jaw issue, and he seems to be okay.
Jonathan Griffin, hold the meter.
So boundary throw in here. Donald Tip and Woody with a lot of malice in it. It's the responsibility though not to hit the head is the way the game is umpired these days. So as Lingy said, it will be looked at. Griffin's kick in the end was intercepted pretty comfortably back there by Marty Gleeson.
And players know that they're responsible if they make eye contact.
Sean Edwards got a bit of surprise there. He thought he was going to be paid the mark, and then under pressure kicked it. Griffin took a good mark over the top of Leuenberger. Sixth season at the Fremantle Dockers, Jonathan Griffin, after starting at the Crows, dumps a long one into a pack. Bagley, good effort from Bagley. He's been paid the mark, I think. Bagley has spent a bit of time as a forward in the last couple of weeks, but now back where he's played most of his career. Yeah, and he showed a little bit up there as well. In that position, did Bagley.
The old, sorry BT, put the old Freo press happening here. It's hard to get through for the Bombers.
See if they can maintain it in their half. Looks like they're going to now. Walters looks back inside. Umpire said you've run off your mark, so you've got to go now. Came to him. He's able to get out of the loop. Crozier back to Neil. So they set up with Sheridan. They love Sheridan in this position. Almost the goalkeeper, and the bailout kick behind play. Spurred back to Sheridan, the boy out of Riddles Creek in Victoria. To Hill.
How's the Sunnies brand going?
I think it's going all right. I think it's going to be launched in September, Richo. The male model, of course, his teammate in Weller out there. Pierce through the middle. Penetrating run. Long ball. Pavlich the target. Did well. He's not happy. Let's have a look. So might have just been able to roll himself over the top there. We've got the benefit of the doubt. So they're under a fair bit of pressure, the Bombers. They really need to get some movement, get in their forward half of the ground, Richard.
What I would say with the high contact stuff, I think the best players are the players that see the contact coming and release their arms up over their heads and try and get a handball off. I think that's how you should be thinking about it when you're going to be tackled. Release your arms to handball.
Well, Barlow did that pretty well on cue, as Richo described. Edwards came through. This has happened a lot to him. He's been wrapped up by three again, and on that occasion given the benefit of the doubt. And it was not that much different from the other one. He had three guys tackling him. He had no prior opportunity, and that's what should have happened. What happened there? Ball was pinned, no prior. Barlow tackled to the ground here. He too has no prior.
I think Patrick Cripps is the best at it at the moment. One of the best anyway. Him, Bontempelli does it well. Always gets his arms released and gets a handball.
You heard the umpire's call. Griffin, the knockdown. Weller in amongst it. Danaher stole it off him. Now tackled by Subban. So another ball up here. So good start by Fremantle. They kicked 4 of their 5 goals in the opening 9 minutes here. And it's been pretty level since that point in time. So the jump's got him. Over the top of Weller. Neal underneath. Taberner's in there. The duck. Siren sounds to end the quarter. Great start by Fremantle. Essendon started to get going a little, but still only managed 1 goal in the quarter. 5-1, 31, Freo. The Bombers 1-3-9.
British hockey returns to the Olympic Park, and the world's top 6 teams compete for the Champions Trophy. Can our men and women make the most of the home advantage? Hockey, often on BT Sports.
It's the biggest tournament of the year, and this weekend the Mail on Sunday is giving away this giant Euro 2016 wall chart. Free inside tomorrow's Mail on Sunday.
We've all been shocked by the recent pictures of refugees fleeing the brutal conflict in Syria. Hundreds of thousands of families have been forced to seek refuge in neighbouring countries, and now they are crammed into camps where the situation gets worse every day, with children who are hungry, weak and frightened. We cannot stand by and watch suffering like this. And you really can make a difference, and that's why Oxfam is asking for your help today. Right now, Oxfam is working around the clock to get clean, safe water to Syrian refugees in Lebanon and Jordan, but more people urgently need our help. £3 can provide enough water for one family for a whole month, so please give now. This horrific situation is getting more desperate by the day. Text WATER to 70061 to give £3 to Ox countries, and now £3 they are crammed into camps where the situation gets worse every day. We get clean,
Remember how your
safe
first
water
bike
to
made
Syrian
cycling
refugees
feel
in
like
Lebanon.
fun? What if a different kind of bike would make it feel that way again? Introducing the G-Tech e-bike. You ride it like a normal bike, but as soon as you pedal, you'll feel its powerful battery and motor, helping you pull away smoothly and giving you an extra boost. To glide through the city and ride for 30 miles on a single charge. So wherever you want to be feels closer, and you feel unstoppable. There's no messy chain, just a clean carbon belt. And no complicated gears, just that exhilarating boost whenever you need it, making hills feel flatter and setting you free to love cycling again. The G-Tech e-bike is delivered to your door fully assembled. Find out more at gtech.co.uk.
Welcome to France, home of the world's best strikers. Yeah. But who do you fancy to be top striker this tournament? Griezmann, Ronaldo, Lewandowski, or maybe Müller? Bet £25 on a top goal scorer with Paddy Power and get a free £5 bet for every match he scores in. Personally, I'd go French. They're a formidable striking force. Vive la Bance! Paddy Power, you're welcome.
Clas Ohlson, a modern home and hardware store from Sweden. We've collected all the products you need to fix things at home, when you want to build and decorate, or if you just want to enjoy or relax. Everything in the same shop. All our products are great value, and we offer a price match promise. We have everything you need when you need it.
Hi, did you know warts and verrucas are a very common problem? But don't worry, Warty is applied in seconds. Warty! Warty, effective warts and verruca remover.
It was a good start for this man here, Matthew Pavlich. Fair bit of smoke in the stadium. The Bombers came out real late. In fact, they were late, full stop. Banner was at the other end, they weren't happening. And the old docker himself, Ryan Crowley there, as Pavlich was able to kick 2 first-quarter goals. They kicked the first 4 of the quarter, leading by 22 points at quarter time. So Fremantle Dockers on the scoreboard doing a nice job. Barlow with 11 touches of the footy, and you can see Cooney had 6 for the Bombers. Let's get down to Lingy.
Well, BT, one thing I noticed just at that quarter-time break there is Ross Lyon still talking to his team behind me. He spent a lot of time, even after the siren had gone, just collecting his thoughts up in the coach's box, going over his matchups. He must have been pleased with the way his team played in that first quarter, but just making sure they start this second quarter really well. Just watching him here at the huddle too, very different to what we saw at quarter time last week, when of course he came down and gave the boys a fair old spray. He's about to join me here as I can grab him somewhere amongst all the players somewhere, just chatting with Hayden Ballantyne now, and also Michael Walters, making sure that those small forwards are doing their job inside forward 50. He wants to make sure this team keeps on the momentum going that they got in that first quarter. Ross, just quickly, you just talked to the small forwards there. What's the key message for those guys?
Oh, they come to me, they just about one of their blokes doing something. I said, don't worry about it.
You must have been pleased with the experienced guys, the way they started. Barlow, Neal, Pavlich, really good start by them.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, we wanted to come compete. That was the message at quarter time last week, so there was only one word on the board, and that was compete. And I thought we did that okay. We built the ball. We thought we had some deep entries possible to put some more pressure on them. That was about the size of it.
Thanks for your time, Ross.
Pretty relaxed on Ross Lyon. Said one of the players came to him and told him not to worry about it, said Ross. Very late out to the huddle he was, Ross, and pretty comfortable with where things are at to start the second quarter.
Bombers need a lift out of Zaharakis. Didn't touch it in the first quarter, averaging 28 this year. Free kick. Fremantle's way against Ryan Crowley. With all those senior players out, they can't afford to have him down for the entire match. Sheridan to Spur. Now Walters. Beautiful pass. How good was that, mate? Wanted to give it off to Mundy in the end. Decided that he's pretty good at this, BT, as a rule, Chris May.
Yeah,
Set shot goal kicking.
Struggled a little early this year, but I think he's gradually getting back on top of it. Had a little bit of the yips in the very early part of the year.
Well, Preo's kicking efficiency this year hasn't been good, particularly going inside 50, but tonight it's on. Forwards are finding space.
Yep. Not under a whole heap of pressure, it has to be said, as you pointed out. So after that build-up, he hasn't made the distance and got it nowhere near it. Leuenberger back there, athletically picked it up in the handball in the bird direction. Zach Merritt to his brother. And now Cooney, a little 1-2 with Crowley. So, that kick was a little dicey at times. Bagley had to slide down low and take a pretty good mark. He did well in the end, Bagley. Make a bad kick look good.
Play on.
Ambrose, gee, where's that going? Put Merritt under all sorts. McDonald, Tip and Woody kept it alive. Back to Merritt here. Bird involved. Merritt able to keep going. Zach Merritt, now Barlow. Just tips backwards, buys a bit of time.
Zaharakis had 3 metres on his man there. It went over his head. So
Still donuts?
just still donuts. Not his night at the moment.
And Richo, I'm just looking, I reckon it's Michael Barlow who's doing the run with roll on him. That is a huge win for Barlow. He's had 12 disposals to Zaharakis 0. Great balance in his game.
Good stuff as Fremantle look to launch again. Now Gwilt will get on the end of this at half-back. What can he do with it? Got Ambrose there, ignored that, went long to Goddard. Had to get rid of it quickly, put Bagley under the pump. Walters did really well, got it to Pearce, comes back to Dawson. He gets a good look in the fluoro boots. Here they come again, big leap over the top. Almost had it. On that occasion did Ballantyne, and now the Bombers out of defence. Through Bagley, had a look in board, and then the sweeping handball. Okay to Langford, back to Goddard. Wanted a little 1-2 with Leuenberger. A lot of hands. Again, eventually they link up with a series of handballs to D. Finally it's on the boot. Some run provided by Gwilt. Got a short one if he wants to take it, Jackson Merritt, which he duly does. Courtney Dempsey's overlap run was pretty good as well, so he ends up with the footy. And this has been the issue, this kick now, with Fremantle always getting a lot of numbers back, so he puts it in the dangerous area. Crowley did well to complete. Dano tackled almost without possession. Pearce threw the arms out, no free kick. It was Lockie Weller to Sheridan to Mundy, who just walks out of defence, and they're out again here Gee, Tommy Sheridan's doing brilliantly, getting plenty of possessions, didn't panic in a tight situation there, and thus they still have control of it here now. Spur. Fremantle looking to spread the Essendon defence here. Spur taking a long time. Could go Neil, didn't have the courage to do that, and that's fair enough. If you can't make the kick, you can't make the kick. Fremantle's ball here to Griffin. Got Walters on down the line. Probably not a kick that he could make. So just out the back door to Mundy, who's just standing by.
Good decision though, Mundy's the kicker.
There's Sheridan, got it back to the kicker, as you say, Richo. Turned around hoping Sheridan was there, but he was on the ground. He recovered. Now Mundy needs to chisel this out, and he does to Main. Sheridan still looking for a run there. Main goes back inside. Two options, always better than one. Now Mundy with a long ball forward. Mark almost Taverner. Somehow he got the handball out. Ballantyne looks dangerous. Fronts the goal, and that's easy. Ballantyne did well. Good play from Freo as they kick another.
Good finish from Hayden, but well done up the ground, Dave Mundy. Got in trouble a couple of times, remained composed, and then used his good kicking skills to get it to Main, but then he followed up. He wasn't happy with watching his kick. He followed it up and got another handball received and put it inside 50. So there's Hayden getting up. Gee, that was going to be a really good grab. He had two hands on it, but he got back after it at ground level. Kicks a goal.
He's had an interesting year too, Hayden Ballantyne. Only 6 touches last week, didn't score a goal.
Mundy.
Looks a lot sharper tonight.
David Mundy. Thank you.
Along with a number of his teammates. Mundy really starting to get involved in this game as well. And now, Lachie Neale. Runner out wide is Sam Collins. Dempsey back in the hole, couldn't quite get there. Gwilt picked up at the front by Jackson Merritt. Tackled nicely by Taverner. So again, all the attacking with the Fremantle Dockers.
Don't just argue everything, mate. Out here.
They just haven't been able to get out of this position so far in this game. The Bombers, they get trapped in.
Umpire saying there, don't argue with everything. That was umpire Ben Ryan. Here's the late replacement too. Called up very late. Zaharakis. Donald Tippenwoody did well. Leuenberger caught. Ballantyne in the middle of it here. Harassed. Parrish goes in. Neil got him in a ripper tackle. Support there from Blakely as well.
It is a real run with role that Barlow is playing on Zaharakis. He's going everywhere with him, doing a great job.
Griffin. Last hands there from Jackson Merritt. Zaharakis. Little soccer along the ground for Zaharakis. Quickly, Hams involved. Parrish taken away. Now Fremantle can reload here. They get it out in a bit of open space. They're good when they get it here. Sutcliffe goes wide, looking for Walters. Comfortable for him. He can hit up anyone. Here's a little one on the skip. Main got down. I reckon he marked it. Too far to score. He knew he was too far out. Walters looking for Mundy, missed him. Now Merritt, Hams. Leuenberger's got to go. Hill did. Pavlich for his third goal. Pavlich has got 3. Playing a super game here for Freo.
They're loving it, the Dockers fans. They're going to sing the song tonight. They think at this stage, Pav getting involved with his 3rd goal. He's looking really mobile tonight, Pav.
Looking so brightly, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. At times this year, he hasn't been able to get off his opponent. But tonight he has. He's finding space. And as I said, his confidence is growing because he can sense a big night.
So Pavlich kicks his 3rd goal, puts them 34 points up, and he is looking full of energy tonight. Big Pav, coming past Bob Pratt's record, and is on his way to a bagful. This one's getting out of hand already for the Bombers. They've got a real appetite for it at the moment. It was a Neil handball to Sheridan. They are just waltzing through without any pressure at all at the moment. This kick from Sutcliffe. It's Crozier. Goes out the other side. It's big Sam Collins. Played with Box Hill in the VFL. Couple of grand finals, and now they work it by hand. Lachie Neale
He's just racking up the footy at the moment. Disposal number 16 already for that man.
Leading possession getter in the comp, Lockie Neal.
It's a looping kick. It was really well weighted for Sheridan and half back. Just haven't really been able to get any heat at all on the Fremantle Dockers. Defence, that kick was poor, and McDonald Tippen Woody was in the right spot.
Yep, looks to go inside, which is the right way. He's got the skill to do that. Dempsey. Inside out. And Bird. So Fremantle quick to adjust into defensive mode once turning the footy over. Not just on that occasion, but generally tonight been pretty good. There's Edwards. That won't be 15, surely not. D has to keep going. Taverner corralling, gradually making ground on him. Now he puts his teammate Edwards under pressure, who handled it wonderfully well. He goes wide to a big man, Leuenberger. Needs to be clean. Can he get around Griffin? One big man against another. Did well. Long ball. Head of Danaher. Up they fly. No winner in the air. Ball on the deck now. Bird tracks it down. Fast hands. Crowley couldn't handle it. Sheridan did a wonderful defensive job there as well. Little handball out the back door. Came from Gleeson. Back to Hams. Beautiful kick. And I reckon Danaher's got the legs from here if he wants to steady. He doesn't. He goes real quick and real long. And he kicks the goal. Danaher's got both of the Bomber goals. Yeah, beautiful finish, Joe Danaher. They're the ones you love when you wheel around. You don't really think about it. Just an instinctual act from Joe Danaher. Breaking left foot kick. That's his second. And I think that little run in the ruck midway through that first quarter, it just got him involved in the game. He had a couple of touches in the ruck.
I like it, Richo. Yeah, it just gives him some involvement in the game. It's so tough on this side at the moment to get opportunities forward. So.
So look at this from Joe, just wheeled around, didn't have anything on, so he thought, I'm just going to have a crack at this. Doesn't think about it, kicks right through the footy.
Don't reckon Dawson thought he was going to have a ping then. Go too hard at him with the attempted smother. Danaher back in for a centre bounce, which I really think is a good thing for him, as Pearce sends this one down. 2-on-1 with the Bombers. Can they work it out together? Dempsey, ball tripped over back there. He couldn't quite keep his feet.
So next year, Das, when Ambrose, Booker's back into the team and Hurley, would you still give him a run in the ruck then?
I think he's going to have a much more enjoyable year next year when he's got some big, quality players around him, Joe Danaher. But, I think it's probably, 75-25 for Danaher. He's definitely a super talent as a key forward, but you know how hard it is for young key forwards anyway. But what's happened to Essendon in the last couple of years and the disruption and the lack of opportunity, pretty frustrating. I think he's handled himself pretty well.
Gets the #1 defender each week. If Hooker plays forward next year, Hooker may well get the #1 defender. Joe suddenly gets the #2. So everything just becomes a bit easier next year for him.
Zach Merritt, good tackle on Monday there. All dribbles out the back. Opportunity for Subin. Sharp handball. Daniel Pearce had a ping. Beautiful exponent of the rocket handball where it spins backwards there. Kevin Sheedy was the inventor of that handball back in about 1979, 1980 when he was at Richmond. I can remember I was on the Oval when he addressed the players and said, this is how we're going to do it from now on.
He was a reserves coach or assistant coach there?
Assistant coach, yep.
That particular time. Skills coach sheets.
Straight to him. Straight to him.
Well, kick going the way of Daniel Pearce. For a score from there, so it's an interesting kick. Just really popped it down the line. It made it pretty difficult. Zach Merritt, little handball ricochet back in his lap, then he handballed into the head of Mundy. Bombers under all sorts of pressure, and emerging with it is Weller. He's going to dish this one off back to the goal square. Main slick hands, and Tucker, he got boot to ball. He was legged, I think. So Darcy Tucker's going to have his shot directly in front.
Here.
And then line up for his first goal in AFL football.
I answered a jumper. See what number.
Something. I don't know who it was, but it's a free kick. Mark Beckley trying to plead his case, Richo.
Look at it again.
Thank you.
Well, this is a good moment, isn't it? Your first goal in AFL footy. Every player would remember this moment.
Debuted in round 5 versus Carlton. He had 16 touches, so if there's any doubt at all,
it's not going to miss now. It's a gimme for your first goal.
So it's all the Fremantle Dockers, and Darcy Tucker kicks his first ever goal in AFL football.
Anti-climax, isn't it, when you get your first ping and you're on the line?
Can you remember yours?
No, I can't.
You can't remember your first goal?
Well, I can't, but I kicked a lot of them, but not first goal.
I don't believe that.
Was your first game on Spud Fully, was it?
No, Bruce Stall. No, he kept you goalless, didn't he?
I can't remember, sorry.
That's a lie.
I'll tell you what I like there. I mean, you're down at ground level. There was a heap of Fremantle Dockers all the way from full back got down to get around Darcy Tucker.
Yeah, obviously a pretty popular young man amongst that Fremantle team. They were absolutely wrapped for him. And BT, I can't believe you can't remember your first goal. I reckon that's something that everybody can. I can still remember mine clearly. I reckon anyone who's played AFL footy surely can remember the first goal they ever kicked, and I'm sure Darcy will remember his, even if it was from the goal line.
I think I might have had a couple of handfuls in my first game, so, you know, it's a lot to remember there. There's out the back, we go to Edwards. Right, I don't remember all that insignificant stuff. So a boundary throw in here. So 3 goals to 1 in this second quarter in favour of Freo. Pavlich has got 3 already and looking as good as we've seen him this year. Leuenberger, beautiful over the back. Got it to Edwards, bangs it inside 50, and there's the benefit of getting it quickly forward, and the marker's taken by Langford. So Langford will line up directly in front of goal here. And just not much wind out there tonight, Lingy, is there?
No, BT, absolutely nothing. Maybe left to right, but no, pretty much non-existent.
Okay, so inside left goal post then, and he's hung it out to the right. I reckon the set shot goal kicking, it's a bit like when you stand on the tee of the golf course, you need to think about where you want to place the ball. And I don't reckon footballers, when they're lining up for set shots, think about where they want to start the footy. They know where they want it to end, obviously between the big ones. They don't think about where they're going to start the footy and what their ball does naturally in the air.
And he kicked over 500 goals to Bristol, and on the other side of me, the lazy 800 for Richo. Know a bit about goal kicking. So free kick now with Leuenberger, hands it off to McDonald, Tippett Woody inside 50. The Bombers go. Really good defensive mark. Great mark. Really well, Hayden Crozier. He's become a permanent fixture in this side since he's holding his spot since round 4. So they are finding new players. Fremantle Dockers really going through the whole of their list. Pav couldn't bring that one down. Taverner now spurred back to Pearce, and Taverner, he likes a bit of elevation and another pack mark.
Yeah, he's looked okay tonight. Playing game 37 in his career. He hammers the ball long, didn't get the penetration he'd hoped, I think, and wanted to get it over the top, but not quite. So now the Bombers in slow play mode. Here's Crowley, getting some polite applause here from the Fremantle Dockers supporters right next to him. Nice touch. Up goes Dawson, a little bit too early. You heard it, unrealistic attempt. Bombers ball, hands. Left footer he is. You can see Leuenberger, who made really good ground. It's a great kick from Hams. Thought about Crowley, took a look at him. He said, I don't reckon you've kicked too many, so I'll go myself. Long ball in Leuenberger. High. Punch away was good. Spills to Sheridan. Had a lot of the footy tonight. Gets it to his mate in Weller. Now Weller holds the arms out, but was still tackled and stripped to the footy. Goddard will have a ping from 50 metres out. No trouble at all with the wheels from there. And Goddard says, thank you very much.
Just had plenty of time there, Brendan Goddard. We know what a great kick of the football he is, and if he gets a couple of seconds to line it up from that distance, he's not going to miss and put it straight through the middle. So the Bombers just a little bit better here the last 5 or so minutes, getting their hands on the football, having a little bit more time in the forward half, and just a bit, the pressure's just improved. A good tackle there that all started that opportunity to score. So good tackle from Parrish, and that set up this goal. Look at that, Goddard's got plenty of time. He doesn't miss those.
So can they make it a couple in a row here, the Bombers? They get back into the centre. Eddie Leuenberger, who's shown a bit tonight. Look at the athleticism there. With Crowley. And Goddard. He wants Zach Merritt. He's a natural left footer, hooks this one round the body. Fantasia's got to go back with a fly, and wasn't really well weighted for him. In fairness to him, short one to Barlow's done an outstanding